Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Very well. So, today we are going to start a new chapter. The canto is always the first one, and the chapter is number 8. We are going to study the prayers by Queen Kunti, and also the story of how Parikshit was saved by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. So first of all, we offer respectful obeisances our spiritual masters and deities. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta prayesha badreshu nityam bhagavata sevayam bhagavati uttama shloke patir bhavati naishtikim. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, with praise with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Very well. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1 and chapter 8. Sutta uvacha atate samparitanam svanam udakamichatam datum sakrishna gangayam uraskrityaya yustriyaha. That's chapter 8, the verse is number 1.
No, Guru Maharaj, 21.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Kumara Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavana, and the enlivener of the cows and senses. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandana Yacham Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Extremely beautiful verse. That's Krishna in Mathura and Vrindavan. So extremely beautiful. So that's a very long purport by Srila Prabhupada, and I don't know what to say. There is so many things that I won't know where to begin. So first of all, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That's a synonym that gives us the Supreme Lord. Krishnaya, why is the supreme name of the Lord? Well, very simple, because all the names of the Lord refers to some quality. Okay? So the one who has all the qualities and an infinite quantity, then what it is? It's very nice, no? It's very attractive. And Krishna means supremely attractive. And that's why the name of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is Krishna, because he is the main name, is the name that comprehends any other name. So Vasudevaya. In this incarnation, Sri Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva. How can I understand that Vasudeva? We have said this many, many times. Sometimes I feel that I'm repeating and maybe I'm boring devotees. I hope not. There is nothing worse than feeling to be boring people for someone who does what they do, preaching Krishna consciousness. So how do you understand that the Vasudeva means the son of Vasudeva and not Vasudeva, which is the name of Vishnu? So have a look. Vasudeva.
Because of the long A at the beginning, means son of.
This is correct.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Yeah, you have a good memory. Who knows how many times I said that? Yes. Vasudeva means of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva is the name of the father of Krishna. Vasudeva means the son of Vasudeva. So Devakinandana means a very dear son of Devaki. So now the Kunti is talking about the Krishna who appeared in Mathura. Okay? Not the Krishna who appeared in Gokula, which is another place. If you see the map, or better, if you go, when you will go to Vrindavan, you'll understand this. There is Mathura, then there is the Yamuna, and across the Yamuna, there is the Gokula. It's the place where Krishna appeared. In Mathura, Krishna in the armed form appeared, while at the same time, the two armed form of Krishna appeared in Gokula. You can see this on the map, and hopefully you will go to Vrindavan one day. So Devakinandana means Devaki is the mother of Krishna. Krishna passed through Devaki's body before appearing in the armed form in the prison where Kamsa put them. So Krishnaya, Vasudevaya, Devakinandana cha. Cha means and. So Krishnaya, who is Krishna, of Krishna, is the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Cha means and. Okay? So, but then in the second part, in the second line of the verse, Kunti remembers that Krishna has appeared also in Gokula. Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Nanda Gopa. Nanda Gopa is the pastor, the cowherd. Man. Nanda Gopa means someone who takes care of cows. And Kumara means a small child. So who is Krishna? Nanda Gopa, the son of Nanda Maharaj. And Govindaya Namo Namaha. Krishna loves cows and loves Brahmanas. Who are the Brahmanas? Brahmanas is someone who can control the senses. Someone can control the senses, he gets angry when it's the moment to get angry, and it gets peaceful, and it's a moment of getting peaceful, but it never loses it. I should say in English, you never loses it. You never lose control. Like we can see people in this world who kills wife or husband or do unbelievable things, you know. And I will never forget 1 year ago what happened in Washington. I was looking at the thing in CNN. I was like, what is this? People were no control of their senses, no control of their intelligence either. I was looking, these people angry, you know. Then this is not Brahminical culture. Brahminical culture gets angry. Arjuna was angry in Kurukshetra, but he couldn't control it. Arjuna said, no, I don't want to fight. But when Krishna told him, no, you had to fight, and then he became angry. So Govinda means someone who can control the senses, and this is Brahminical culture. Okay, sorry, 21. Did I say everything I had to say? No, you can speak centuries. They did, actually. People is talking about Krishna since the beginning of time. So I like the name Govinda because Govinda means cows, means Brahmanas. Brahmanas do not exist without cows, because what the Brahmanas do? The Brahmanas do cook for Krishna. The Brahmanas cook for the deities. You cannot cook without ghee, and there is no ghee without butter, and there is no butter without milk, and there is no milk without cows. So, and then what they do? They do sacrifices. The 5 sacrifice has to be done with ghee, not with some other, not with gasoline. You have to do it with ghee. Otherwise, it's not bona fide. So this is why the name Govinda is very precious. Go means cows, and means the Brahmanas. And Vinda means someone who gives pleasure to. Sri Krishna, this is one of the dearest names to Vaishnavas. Krishna. After Krishna, I think if you ask any devotee, what is the next name after Krishna that you like the most? They most probably will say Govinda. So this verse talks about Govinda. Okay, let's go to the number 22.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, after you gave me my name, I started recognizing how often Govinda shows up everywhere.
Yes. And where Govinda goes? To the Yamuna.
Oh.
So your brother and sister should not be very far away. You should
Yes,
keep,
Guru Maharaj.
you should keep
We are both
contact.
present.
No, she can be your mother physically, but spiritually she is your sister. And if she needs something, you have to help her because she is your sister. Okay? And so,
And vice versa.
yes, the two names are very strictly correlated, because where the Krishna's cows, where they would go to drink, to the Yamuna River. Okay? So there is a very strict, tight correlation, is that correct in English? Correlation between Govinda, the lover of cows and Brahmanas, and Go also means Shastra. Also means Shastra, the scriptures. Govinda loves the Brahmana because they study the Shastra. So Govinda and Yamuna, you cannot say one name without the other one.
Thank you. Okay. Text 22.
Yes.
My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
Yes, we have to read the Sanskrit of this verse. Nama pankajana bhaya, nama pankajamaline, nama pankajanetraya, namaste pankajangraya. I remember this verse having studied it many times in my life. And this is just pure poetry. Pankaja. Pankaja is the lotus. This is one of the name of the lotus. And in his abdomen, here, where is the, how you call it? Please?
The belly button?
The belly button. Yes. Krishna's body has a depression at that point, like all of us, unless you have a big belly like me. But normal people, they have a little depression at that point. And Krishna has this depression, Pankajana Bhaye. He is a specific depression resembling a lotus flower in the center of his abdomen. Just his depression, not only because from Krishna's body, lotus flowers come up, but also his depression itself that looks like a lotus flower. Pankajamaline. He always has a garland of lotus flowers. We don't have much facilities for lotuses in the West, unfortunately, but this is the flower that Krishna likes the most. So maybe sometime you can go by, I'm sure in your place there must be some flower seller that have maybe some lotus flower. Yeah, go buy it and give it to the deities. Pankajanetraya. Netra means cooling. Pankajanetraya. The glance is cooling as a lotus flower. And then Pankajangraya. Unto you the sole of your lotus feet are engraved, the lotus flower that said to possess lotus feet. That's why, because in the soles of the feet, if you look at the feet, it very much resembles a lotus flower, and that's why Krishna is always said to have lotus feet. Not only for that reason, also because it's pure, it can rain as much as you want. The lotus flower is very much, how you say, when water cannot go in, it's, help me, it's
Impermeable.
impermeable. No, it doesn't matter how much water you pour in, it will never go inside. It just shifts down, And so the fate of those who live in the material world, where Krishna came into the material world, or our spiritual masters, they are in the material world, but their consciousness is not touched by the material, the material things, dynamics. So because they are impermeable to Maya, and then they have lotus feet. Okay, let's go to the next verse, which is the number 23.
Hrishikesha, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kansa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers.
Rishika, no? Rishika means senses. Isha means the Lord or the controller. So Rishikesha means the master or the senses. What it means, the master. Someone who can control, a master order and say, no, you do this, you don't do that. So Krishna is no slave of his senses. He tells the senses what to do. So this is a very nice name for Krishna, Rishikesha. And then Kunti is saying, you release your mother, Devaki. Devaki, you know the story. The boys from the sky, the 8th son of your sister, Kamsa, Kamsa's sister, Devaki, is going to kill you. So he takes Devaki and her husband, Vasudeva, he put them in prison. He killed every son that she had, etc., etc. You know the story. Tell me if you're yes or not. Yes, it's one of the first story of Krishna's life that we all hear. So, so Krishna released Devaki, who has been for years in prison and very much distressed because living in prison is not nice. And also Krishna killed Kamsa. But also Krishna relieved, saved me. Who is talking? That's Kunti. Kunti is talking. And say, you also, not only you release Devaki, but you save also me and my children, the Pandavas, from so many dangers. So she was very much, I say, grateful to Krishna. And being grateful, gratefulness, it's very important in spiritual life. If someone does good to you, you have a debt and you have to repay it. Some debt cannot be repaid, like what Srila Prabhupada did to us. Tell me what we can do. There is nothing we can do to repay what Prabhupada did for us, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Krishna for that matter, like this. So, but although there is nothing we can do to repay it in full, that's something we had to do to repay our debts to Krishna and Guru and our parampara and the devotees. Don't forget that without the very nice devotees who helped you at the beginning in the spiritual life, are still helping you, each of you in your respective temples, you have so many devotees who are kind to you, give you inspiration, give you help, give you teaching. You should be grateful and do something to serve them. It's very important. An ungrateful person has a very dark heart. Okay, number 24.
My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashvatthama.
Yes. What is the poisonous cake? There is some food that the Kurava gave to Bhima. There was much before the story. If you have read the Mahabharata, you should remember that. And in the Mahabharata are many stories, so I understand that it's difficult to remember them all. But yes, while they still were children, not children, but just boys at that time, they were like playing together, and Duryodhana saw that Bhima was too strong, was just too much, and he became envious. He said that there is no game we can do, he wins them all, So, and they said, okay, if in the future I want to be emperor, so if there is someone who can prevent me from being an emperor, that's Bhima. So they gave him some food, poison food, and they threw him in the river. In the river, Bhima was bitten by poisonous snakes, and the two poisons did some kind of reaction, and Bhima came back to his senses. And then he met Vasuki, and the whole story you can read in the Mahabharata. Then from a great fire, you remember that, the luck house. You remember Varanavata story. The Pandavas were told, go there to have some merry, be happy. And they put them in a house that was very inflammable. So there was one man called Pratikami. Actually, Pratikami means assistant, okay? But in Mahabharata, this man is called Pratikami. We don't know if that was his actual name or it was just a title. Anyway, he was supposed to wait for the right moment and then ignite fire and kill them all. But he didn't go as he was. He actually died in the fire. You can find the story in the Mahabharata. So, from cannibals. What is a cannibal? This is Rakshasas. Rakshasa eat people. And since this seems like a chronological remembrance of story, of course, she was referring to Hidimba. You remember the story of Hidimba? There was Hidimba and Hidimbi. Actually, Hidimbi is also called Hidimba, but the last A was long, so one is masculine and the other one is feminine name. So she went there where the Pandavas were because the Hidimba said from the smell, he could understand it was a fresh flesh. So she went, she sent his sister, and his sister saw Bhima was taking care, was mounting guard to the other brothers, and mother, Kunti was there also. And she fell in love with him. And then Hidimba came and Bhima killed him, etc., etc. So Kunti here is remembering Hidimba, but not only. From the vicious assembly, of course, there was the game of how you call this?
Dice.
Dice. The game of dice. It was quite vicious because there was the whole group of people trying to cheat them, and they succeeded to cheat them in one sense, but at the end, this cheating came against like a boomerang, and that was the reason. That was the beginning of the end. And then the forest, of course, and the battle, the Kurukshetra. And now, Kunti says, now you saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama. So Kunti had a very quick recount of their life. And so she was very grateful to Shri Krishna. Yes. Okay, this is a very nice verse. Please read it.
I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Vipada santutas shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yasyat apunar bhavadarshanam. This is a verse that should be committed to memory, and I knew it many years ago. So what Kunti is saying here, she's saying that she doesn't care about suffering or anxiety or having problem if this give her the opportunity to remember Krishna. And we as human beings, sometimes we had that, not sometimes, very often actually, we had a tendency to remember God only when we need Him. Oh God, what's going on? Oh God, only when something is wrong. Otherwise, who cares? I have my youth, my health, my bank account. I don't need God because I got everything. This is very wrong, actually. because you are paying money, karma money, for your success in life. Okay, so you are young and beautiful and rich and intelligent and successful, but being that, you are paying your karma. You are deshydrating, this exists in English, your karmic bank account. Help me finding a word. You are prosciugato, ok, prosciugare. Se Ishwari che sta studiando, Ishwari study in English, she knows what prosciugare. Prosciugare means drain. You're draining your karmic bank account because nothing is gratis, nothing is free of charge in the world. If something is good, it's because you did something in the past, and the good karma is in a bank account. Now you are enjoying what you did, the result of what you did, and you are draining your bank account, and it will finish. There is no eternal infinite bank account, and one day you will be miserable again. So it's better not to remember Krishna only when things are bad. It's good. It's advisable to remember Krishna always when things are good and when things are bad. Okay? So Kunti here is saying something incredible deep philosophically. She's saying, I don't care about calamities coming in my life. I had so many. The whole of the Pandavas' life was a disaster. Okay, from the start, on the first day to the last day, there was not a happy life. Okay? But she did, I don't care, because we remember you. And when we remember you and we see you, either she had a fortune to see Krishna physically, but we can see Krishna with our spiritual insight. And then if we take this attitude in life, then we no longer see repeated birth and death. Apuna bhavadarshanam. Never again repetition of bhavadarshanam, birth and death. So this is a very nice verse. I always loved it. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again. Most people say, no, God, please, no. I got it enough. She say, who cares? Let the calamities happen again and again. You know? So that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means we will no longer see repeated birth and death. Okay, verse number 26.
My lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling.
So here Kunti says something different, and he's saying not that you are easily approached if you are a loser, if everything is wrong in your life. She's not saying that. He's saying that whether you are a loser or winner in life, you should be tired of material life. Because by intelligence you can be tired of material life, even if everything is successful. You know, madaha, intoxication. You know, edamana madapu manjamma ishvarya sutashribi edamana madapu man naivahatya bidhatum vai tvam akinchana gochara. Who is akinchana gochara? Akinchana Gochara is Krishna. Akinchana is those who are tired. of this material life. There are two ways of being tired. One, everything goes south in your life, and the other one, everything goes north, but you understand, now we are going up, but one day I will go down, so better to, not to enjoy, not so that I will be able not to suffer what in the future will happen in my life. So those who are materially exhausted, akinchana, it's very easy to approach Krishna. But those who want material progress, that try to improve his life, like acting in such a way that next life you will be born in a good family, rich, educated, etc. High education and bodily beauty. And these people cannot approach Krishna because their mind is somewhere else. Their mind is not Ekeha Kurunandana, that's the Bhagavad Gita. Ekeha means one direction only. What do you want? You want material, material opulence, you want to enjoy life, that's, good luck. But those who want spiritual life, then they should direct themselves toward Krishna only. And of course, those who are not pure devotee, they will have some attraction. But if his intention is not towards material life, but spiritual life, all the attachment to material life is just a question of time and will go away. Okay, now 27. Oh, this one. Namo kinchana vittaya nivrita gunavrittaye atmaramaya santaya kaivalya pataye namaha. Yes, please read it, and I can read it. My obeisances unto you who are the property of the material impoverished. You have nothing to do with action or reaction of the material modes of nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and unmastered the monists. So first of all, those who are materially impoverished, we have a big history of very rich men being pure devotees. So materially impoverished doesn't mean that you are, again, a loser. In your life, you got no money, you got no intelligence. But means that you don't want anything, even if you have it. If you have money, give it to the temple, to Krishna. Don't keep everything to yourself. You should give donations. That's materially impoverished. Krishna has nothing to do with the actions or reactions of the material modes of nature. Everything coming from him is free. It's not, doesn't cause any reaction. And also the service that we do to Krishna, that's karma-less, not karma. Anything you do for the temple, for the devotees, etc., doesn't give you any material reaction. And then a very important concept, how to be gentle. If you are angry, if you are not satisfied, you can't be gentle. It will come to the moment that you just want to strangle somebody because you need to how you say that in English?
Leave?
Let it out. Yeah, well, this Google Translate says, let it out. So you try to control yourself and you are gentle, etc. And then something happens and boom, you explode. Because you're not happy. What's a name for somebody who is happy inside, not outside, inside? Atmarama. There is a very, very famous verse. Atmarama shchamuna yo nirgranta piurukrame kurvanti ahitokim bhakti nittam bhuta guno harihi. That means that those who are self-satisfied, so they're always gentle because they don't need anything. They're not envious. And master of the monist, Kaivalapataye Namaha. Kaivalapataye means that those who are looking for liberation without Krishna, Krishna will help them to get into the proper path. So let's read the last verse for today, and then we go to your question. I wanted to tell a story, but it's late. Okay. Okay, read the last verse. We'll tell the story next week.
I think we still have time, Guru Maharaj.
It's time?
I think we still have time, like reading the verse, we still have time, I would say. To...
Okay, let's read the verse and then I'll tell the story.
Okay. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse.
Yeah. Yeah. Krishna is time, the supreme controller, no beginning, nor end. He's everywhere through his energy. And he distributes his mercy equally to everyone. And you could say, well, that's not true. I'm not getting the same mercy that some devotees is getting. No, you open the umbrella. If you open the umbrella, you don't get the same water that those who doesn't have the umbrella. See? So when the devotees want to receive mercy from Krishna, they open their heart, they open their mind, so they get more. But you open your mind and your heart just a little bit, you receive a little, and then you cannot complain. Because it's you that not receiving, you that want to receive the mercy. But the mercy is equally for everybody. And so to finish today's study of the verses, the dissension between living beings are due to his social intercourses. She's not giving any importance to what happened between her sons and the Kauravas. He said, yes, that's something. It always happens. That's the material world. That's then it will happen, but it's nothing to do with the eternal life. So she is kind of downgrading, not giving importance to what happens between Pandavas and Kauravas. Okay, so it is a couple of weeks I wanted to tell you a story, and I will tell it today. It's a story, very nice story. And let me open it, so just in case I forget some detail, I can read it here. And this is a story that will appear in my next book in English. The Yamuna is editing. Are you editing the second part? Yes. And I just finished the third part and last part. So in this third part, there is a very nice story. You are going to read it. There was one very important devotee of Lord Chaitanya, whose name was Vakrishvara Pandit. He was a very great kirtan leader, but especially he was a dancer. During kirtans and especially Ratha Yatra, he was the main dancer. Dancing and dancing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, loved the way he would dance. And one day he said, give me 10,000 Gandharvas, they are musicians, or the Devas. Okay? Let them sing as I dance. and then I will be greatly happy. When Mahaprabhu left this world, Vakrishvara saw no reason to stay in this useless place, and also left his material body. Vakrishvara had a very dear disciple whose name was Gopala. Gopala, he was a Brahmana from Utkala. Utkala is the Orissa, is the Puri. And from the early childhood, Gopala stayed with Vakrishvara Pandit. He was like his little disciples, like a kid that his parents left him with the Guru to grow up. Just like today, father and mother, they send their kid to a university and they live there with the other students, etc. So during our culture, Vedic culture, but also even today it happens. Mother and father, they will leave young children with gurus to be taught and to grow up as a gentleman. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day had the necessity had to answer a call of nature. So he started to bite his tongue to keep it like this. And Gopala, the little kid, was there. He said, "What are you doing? Why are you biting your tongue?" And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "It's not proper to chant the name of the Lord while you answer your call on nature." And so the kid said, "But you are the Supreme Lord, and everyone follows you. What if someone, while relieving themselves, leaves his body? What would be his destination if he were not chanting?" He was a young kid, It's like if Govinda's song tells you something like that. So Mahaprabhu became very pleased with the philosophical understanding and said that you have spoken correctly, you have spoken like a guru. So from today you should be known as Guru. So that's why Gopala was known as Gopala Guru Goswami. That is the story. And he was instructed in very principled by Swarupa Damodara Raghunath Das Goswami. So when Vakeshwara Pandit passed away, Gopala Guru Goswami stayed at the same place. That is the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived, in the house of Kashi Mishra. And in the house of Kashi Mishra, Vakeshwara Pandit lived. And Gopala Guru stayed with the Guru in the same house. When Vakreshwara left his body, Gopala Guru Goswami continued to live in the same place. And there he installed the deity of Sri Sri Radha Kanta. And he wrote books, etc., etc. So now, time goes, and Gopala Guru Goswami also left his body. Gopala Guru Goswami had a disciple. So now we have a line from Vakreshwara to Gopala Guru, from Gopala Guru to Dhyanachandra Goswami. He was a very advanced devotee, Dhyanachandra. He also wrote books that we know and we read, very important books. During this time, there was some disturbance from the government officials. They wanted to close the place. We don't know actually what happens because I never read the details, but there was a very serious disturbance against the deities and against the devotees. So Dhyanachandra didn't know what to do. He was very sorry about what was happening. But one day one devotee came from Vrindavan after having visited Vrindavan and said, "Why are you worrying? I saw your guru in Vrindavan." And he said, Dhyanachandra answered, "No, that's not possible. My spiritual master left his body." No, I saw him in Vrindavan. He is there. And since this Vaishnava was very respectable, and respectable Vaishnava, do not lie, Vaishnavas do not lie, Then Dhyanachandra understood that something was going on in Vrindavan, so he left. From Puri to Vrindavan is a long way. So at that time there was no airplanes. Everyone would go by feet, by walking. And he took some time, but then he reached Vrindavan. In Vrindavan there is one very nice place called Dhira Samira. Dhira Samira means whisper. You can hear, if you have transcendental ears, of course, you can hear the whispers of Radha and Krishna in this place. Dhira Samira. Beautiful place. We have been there. And by entering Dhira Samira, he saw his spiritual master, Gopala Guru Goswami, chanting. And he was very, not surprised, because, pure devotees, they can do this and more. But in one sense, he was surprised to see his spiritual master chanting. He was just chanting, Nama Sankirtan, in ecstasy. The constant flow of tears streamed from his eyes as he remembered various pastimes. Dhyanachandra fell at his feet like a rod, Dandavat. Dandavat means 8 parts of the body as to touch the ground. That's his. You should look in what are these 8 parts in Ishvara that is there. And Dhyanachandra fell at his feet like a rod and began to cry. Then said, "Please come back to Puri. The authorities are giving very hard time to the Vaishnava and the deities. We need your protection." Gopala Guru Goswami said, "No, I want to stay here in Vrindavan. But you return to Puri without anxiety. There will be no more annoyances from the authority." So Dhyanachandra Goswami, of course, believed the spiritual master. He went back to Puri, and when he came back to Puri, was received by the city authorities. They paid obeisances to him and asked forgiveness for what they did. So Dhira Samira is a very beautiful place. All of you should go and visit it. It gives transcendental bliss to the devotees and is the eternal place where Gopala Guru Goswami lives and performs bhajan. You can still visit transcendental place in Vrindavan and remember this and many other wonderful pastimes that happen in this place. In Shri Vrindavanada. Okay, so this is the story I wanted to tell, and I told it. So if there is any question, I would be happy to answer.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, keep your humble obeisances. All good. First, I just had a very simple question. Could you please tell me which verse that was? The Atmarama, the one. Do you remember which one I'm talking about?
I will tell you. It's in the first canto. Now I will tell you exactly what it is, because I have it in my. My database. When it's wrong, I have to open it again. The Atmarama verse is very famous. It's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 64 different explanations of the same verse. This happened during the debate against Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Puri. You remember the story, maybe. And he gave different explanations, and Mahaprabhu destroyed it. Gave 64 different personalistic interpretation of this. And this verse is very much used by all Vaishnavas because it proves that Krishna is a person. So, yes, 1, 7, 10.
Oh, we already read it.
Of course we read it.
Oh.
And I spoke about 20 minutes
Oh,
of this.
Yes,
You remember that?
that's yes. That's
Yeah, yeah. All different varieties of Atmarama, because there is no only one type of Atmarama. Especially those established the path of self-realization, though free from all kinds of material bondage. They have no contact with matter. They want to render unalloyed devotional service unto thee. Remember that we Yamuna, that was with Bhakti Rosario, who didn't understand what unalloyed means. So maybe even Yamuna didn't understand what unalloyed means. So, since I know English better than them, maybe not. So I gave an explanation of the word unalloyed. And so how it is possible that someone who does not have any attachment or contact with the material world are attracted to material activities or characteristic of Krishna? There is only one answer, that Krishna's activities are not material. That's why they are attracted to them, because they are spiritually free. They can be attracted only to spirit, and if they are attracted to Krishna's activities, name, place, form, etc., means that those are spiritual. The verse ends by this means the Lord possesses transcendental qualities, and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. This is a very, very beautiful verse.
Thank you. I had a question regarding the part when we were speaking about nothing. We were saying nothing is free of charge. So if something good is happening to you, then you're basically just getting the result of like some previous. I won't use the right word. It's I don't remember. I know there's the different kind of karmas. There's the good karma, like vikarma, and then there's the second. I don't know. I don't remember the order of them. But but the question is, so I guess just practically speaking, as I've been kind of just observing like how my day is going, I can start. I guess I'm starting to see like some instances where I can feel very low or very down or very yes, just very down or low, and just feeling like overwhelmed. And then like maybe sometime later, within the same day, it can just do like a complete flip where I don't feel like I did anything differently, but now I don't feel as sad or morose or anything anymore. I feel more
Yes.
uplifted. So is that kind of speaking on that, or I'm just curious, I'm just wondering like what is that is an example of?
Oh, this is very normal.
Mhm.
Normal. Because feeling morose is the result of unhappiness or incomplete happiness. You feel that something is missing in your life and you don't know where to get it. You don't know what it is even. So if you do not even know what it is, how can you get it? So, and at that point we feel morose, because something is wrong. But then this is material, and everything material beginning and ends. So during the day, maybe you think to something, you like it, or you contact a devotee, you like it, etc., and then everything comes back. This is very human, very normal. Our mind is attack the mind. your mind is very flickering, it goes up and goes down,
Fickle.
very fickle. And you are happy, and in 10 minutes you are very morose, and then happy again, and morose and happy again. That's why transcendental advanced devotees have the characteristic of being very steady. It's difficult to see them more. Well, let's say that the more you are advanced, the less happens that you feel morose, because you got a lot of things to think, pastimes and philosophy and service and this. And he doesn't have time to be morose. This is also happens where you got nothing to do. Maybe you finish your rounds, or you don't want to chant any rounds anyway, and you're tired because of your job. I'm just speculating. So many things happen, and when the mind is not fixed in Krishna consciousness, then this happens. So, yes.
Guru Maharaj, may I ask a question?
Absolutely, yes.
I would like to understand better what the difference is between dedicating your material labors to Krishna and losing interest in the material world and your material labors. And how do we know when we have enough interest in spiritual life and we've lost enough interest in material life in order to progress to the state of being a Brahmana?
Yes. So first of all, this is very subjective, or to be more precise, it could be somewhat subjective, because we are different persons, and our path, our walk into Krishna consciousness can be very, very different, etc. In general, first of all, you have to identify your work, giving an identity. How much is spiritual and how much is material? How to recognize when something is spiritual and something is material? It's very simple. If the job you do has some spiritual ending, like I cannot change my job, I don't have another job, I have a family, I have to maintain myself, maintain my family, but I give some money to the temple. And then the job is spiritualized, because you give some money to the temple, to the devotees, to activities in Krishna consciousness. And that's why we have to be very careful to use the donation we received in Krishna consciousness. It's a big responsibility to receive donations. Actually, devotees should be scared to receive donations. So, otherwise, if you have a job with not spiritual in itself, and you feel attracted because your material sense, your material personality is natural trust, then something is, I not say that it's wrong, but it's not the better condition. Something is slightly wrong in your spiritual life, because you are still attracted to material emotions, material association, friends, etc., etc. Something is not perfect. While if by driving, going to the temple, you feel happy, I'm going to the temple. Maybe it's not the best temple in the world, but still there are devotees, So, and you feel happy to go there, then something is good in your spiritual life. If you go to a temple, you like to talk with the devotees, you like to sing, you like to dance, you like the prasadam, of course, you like the class, then something is very good in your spiritual life. And So to arrive at a point of non-material element in your life, that is not easy. That may take the whole of your life. That's why people during Vedic culture, when they're old, they would take sannyas. What it means to take sannyas? To say sannyas means I give everything up. My family, my job, my everything, and just serve Krishna. Only at this point where you are a sannyas, you can be sure that your life is entirely in Krishna consciousness. Because until you have some compulsory contact with the material world, I'm not saying that it's completely material, but some material element, depending from you, some material element is there, and you have to be careful. Often the devotees, they're very expert in judging others. Oh, this devotee says this devotee says. But, I always say that if we would be 1% as a scientific in judging others, and we use that 1% to judging ourselves, then that would be good. So we had to analyze ourselves. We should not criticize anybody. We should not be a waste of time. Unless you have a service, you're a temple president, you are somebody, then judging others is your service. Because you have to help. How can you help somebody if you don't judge if he's doing good or bad? But if you don't have any service and nothing really matters about your opinion, so you should not waste time. And you should analyze yourself. How much I like to chant, how much I like to hear, how much I like to eat prasad, how much I like. And then you will discover yourself how much you are advancing in spiritual life. Because self-analysis will force you to be honest with yourself. So, and of course, advanced devotee can tell you if something is wrong, is good or wrong in your. But if you can discover it by yourself, this is good.
Okay, thank you very much.
During Prabhupada times, everything was so easy. We would live in a temple, and we were forced to live as pure devotees because we had no money, no nothing. It took me 2 months to get some money to have some socks because in Rome, in winter time, it's cold. And I would go with this flip-flop to do Sankirtan, etc. I was freezing cold. And the temple the treasurer, they won't give me money to buy socks because he would say you should be austere. So everything was very simple. Living in a temple, you are. But if you live outside, you have to understand that something is. Most probably something will not be perfect. I always advise devotees to, at least for a few months, to do some experience of living in a temple, in an ashram. And you will remember that period when you did that with a lot of pleasure. You never forget that. If the temple is a good temple, of course. If it's a bad temple, you don't get any experience. But if the temple is good, you're never going to forget that experience in a positive sense. Very good. Okay, so I think we are almost finished. If there is any other question, otherwise Shashidhar has entered at the last moment. Dhananjaya also comes right at the end. It's true. Dhananjaya Prabhu always arrives at the end.
Hare
Maybe we,
Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Oh, sorry.
yeah, maybe we should remember everybody that we begin at 7. Well, actually, what time is in San Antonio now?
6. Or I mean, well,
6.
now right now it's at 7. Yes. I mean,
7. In San Antonio is 7.
the time right now is 7:10 p.m. Yes.
No, at what time we begin in San Antonio? It's
At 6.
6.
Yes.
And where I am and where Yamuna is 7. Okay.
Mhm.
So 6, the San Antonians, they should arrive at 6.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I had a question regarding the analysis. Often I feel like when I do self-analysis, I think there's like an being overly critical with myself in a sense. And
Mhm.
so I'm wanting to know like what is the best approach to that where I can analyze myself but without that kind of judgment, because then being overly critical, that makes me not feel enthusiastic to do anything, because then I just feel like I do everything wrong, and so that doesn't help me with my spiritual life. So I'm wanting to know like how to approach that self-analysis.
Yeah, it's not good to become despondent in devotional service or morals or something. We should be careful not to go from one extreme where everything is right, I'm a very advanced devotee, to the other, I'm useless, I don't do anything right. You know, there is a lot on in between. And the best way to become able to do a positive, constructive self-analysis is to study a lot, because study matures you. Matures you, you become mature because you start thinking philosophically. So when somebody is more philosophical and less emotional, you know, like you say, "Oh, this is beautiful," you start crying and say, "This is a little dangerous because you can go from one extreme to the other one, and we should not go. We should not go to any extreme." And of course, we know when we are going to be a pure devotee, we are going to dance like crazy. We are going to cry and yell, scream in pure ecstasy. But right now, we don't really have this consciousness, you know? So philosophy helps us to become mature, you know, to use more our discrimination and less our emotionality. Emotions are not bad, but you are more safe with discrimination. Maybe you enjoy less because it's nice to have some big laugh or something, you know. Of course, it's very enjoyable to be with devotees and laughing, but during hard time, you need more intelligence and less emotions, because any emotion bounce you back to the extreme. The more you laugh, and the more you feel morose one day. It's just human nature. This is how it works.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Adi Haribo. Okay, so did we finish for today? Yes, we do. And thank you very much for your attention and very nice, intelligent questions, all of them. I'll see you again in July 20, continuing the prayers from Kunti Devi. Hare Krishna. All glories to
Hare
Sri Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Whoa.
Haribol.
Guru Maharaj.